Okay, so today we're going to talk about factoring when it comes to polynomials and the couple different ways that we can do that. Today we're going to focus on the distributive property through finding the greatest common factor, or the GCF, through grouping, and through additive inverses. So we're going to start up here with distributive property. So let's find the GCF of 27y squared. So that's 3 times 9, which is 3 times 3 times 3. Then y squared is y times y, right? 18 is 9 times 2, or 2 times 3 times 3 times y. So what do we have in common? We have 2 3's and a y. So we can make that 9. 3 times 3 is 9y. And that leaves us with 3y plus 2. So our factored form of this equation would be 9y, or expression, 9y and 3y plus 2. That's factored form of this polynomial. We can also do it through grouping. Now there's a couple things that need to happen in order for us to group. First, we have to have at least 4 terms. Next, the terms have to have common factors that can be grouped together. Lastly, there have to be 2 common factors that are identical or additive inverses of each other. So since this does meet all of these requirements, we're going to start here. So let's group together our r's. So we're going to go 4qr plus 8r. And we're going to group together 3q plus 6. We can pull out a 4r from each of these, and that leaves us with q plus 2. And we can pull out a 3 from these, and that leaves us with q plus 2. Because q plus 2 is common in both groups, it becomes the greatest common factor. So we can factor q plus 2 out of those. So then that leaves us with q plus 2 and 4r plus 3. So now that is factored form by grouping for this polynomial. The last way to factor is through the additive inverse. So we're going to start by putting our m's in grouping. So 2mk minus 12m plus 42 minus 7k, because they have a 7 in common. We're going to pull out 2m and leave k minus 6 plus 7, 6 minus k. Now what we need to do in order to get them to be additive inverses of each other is multiply this second one right here. Ooh, I can't highlight it, so I'm just going to circle it. Multiply this by -1. This 6 minus k. So we're going to multiply that by -1. We're going to move over here. So we have 2m k minus 6, 7, 6 minus k, and we're multiplying this by -1. So that gives us 7. Right? -7 k minus 6. Because we made our 7 a negative, we made our 6 a negative, and we made our k a positive. So now that we have them in the same order, now we're looking, remember, at this and this. So now we can factor out k minus 6, and then that leaves us with 2m minus 7. So that would be our factored form using additive inverses for this polynomial. So those are the three of the ways that we can factor polynomials: through additive inverses, which is just multiplying by -1, through grouping, which helps us find the term that they have in common, or through the greatest common factor using distributive property.